You're Near the Wild with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
Hello.
There's John. We're waiting for one more leg of the Scalene. Becker is online.
He's gonna make it. He's gonna make it.
Hello?
There he is!
Hello?
Matt Becker.
I've got jungle fever.
And a telephone line this week.
It's unbelievable, guys. Last week I was literally at the phone company.
Really?
No, I didn't. Their Wi-Fi, where you buy Wi-Fi, is so poor. I didn't even get your message till I got out of the phone company.
So basically, you have
makes you feel good about it.
Even though you've been there for years, you have to start over every time with utilities?
Well, here's the deal. I used to have a Wi-Fi stick that I paid every month, and I used it for 2, and they charged me for 12.
Yeah.
So I go, I'm not going to be a rube. So I just go, and they go, they have prepaid now. Mm-hmm. So I did the prepay, and it worked great for half the month, and then the other half, it sucked last year. So I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Now it's starting out sucky. So I don't have to worry about the other half the month.
Well, we are, I mean.
Well, the first half is really expensive. The second half you get a deal on.
Well, it's just funny. They want you to call them if there's a problem. And they go, ironically.
Well,
if your phone and internet goes out, just contact us.
That's it. That's all we ask.
The only way to contact them, though, is customer service. So please don't come down to the office.
And their clocks are all metric, so you never know what time it is.
Metric clock? What's a metric clock?
Yeah. It's weird. I know. 10 centimeters after 6.
So we should explain, in case we do have a new listener. John is in Anchorage, Alaska, and Matt Becker is in Costa Rica, and
everybody's jealous of me.
And I am in Bisbee, Arizona, and we record this usually just going up to, back and forth between Bisbee and Anchorage on Skype, and this way we have a little three-way, a Scalene, a devil's Scalene we call it, and yeah,
it's never been done. I Googled it.
What? What's never been done before?
These 3 locations have never been done. We should trademark it.
Let's see if we make it through the whole podcast.
We're really spread all throughout North America.
Yeah.
Well, do you understand?
This is a continental podcast.
You're in Anchorage. You're in Bisbee. I'm in Costa Rica. That's ABC.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. You guys don't have free time like I do now.
Yeah, you got a lot of free time, I was going to say.
You just blew my mind, Becker. Sometimes the planets just align and these crazy things happen.
So are you formulating a name change here? Or are you voting for a name change?
No,
ABCs of podcasting?
No, I just thought we could do the introduction now with that Michael Jackson.
Hey, so Becker, earlier today when I saw that you were on Skype, you had perpetuated the myth, R.I.P. Steve Martin. And I'd been in the shop all day, so I wasn't listening to like current news or anything. But it just takes a second. If you just hit CNN, and you'll know that it's fake because there's nothing up there. They're waiting to put these celebrities up. First to post kind of thing.
When people spread those like Steve Martin died or some famous person died, like somebody has to start it. Somebody just like woke up today and was like, let's see how many people will believe me if I say Steve Martin died.
Well,
and
me,
that's
John.
like, and then at the end of the day, in your journal, like you can write down like what made today great. I convinced 860 people that Steve Martin died.
Well, the person who posted it had a million hits within a few hours. So I think this might be tied to advertising stream, like a revenue stream.
Oh,
did somebody do that? Did somebody honestly do that?
Yeah. People write fake news all the time, knowing that they will get traffic, and knowing full well that what they're writing isn't like someone is like, well, I guess, I can't even think of like a vaccine conspiracy theorist or a 9/11 thing. It's not someone's like educated opinion. They go out of their way to find the most outlandish story, put it on their blog, and hopefully a Republican or a Trump supporter will pass it on, and then it just goes viral. Because there's no checking. That's my point. It would take one quick check to one other site to see if Steve Martin really had passed.
I just did a very scientific test just now, and if you type in "is Steve Martin," the first thing that comes up in your Google bar is Steve Martin dead? And if you replace Steve Martin's name with like any celebrity, it's at least in the top 4 most searched Google results, or any celebrity.
Sure.
Why do we care so much?
No, but don't you think Google's doing this?
No, it's not.
Google's not going on Facebook and saying it, so they'll go and Google it.
It's what people are searching for. But I'm saying, why do we care? Steve Martin isn't going to make the jerk again. He's unless you're planning on going to see Steve Martin play the banjo, it doesn't apply to your life if Steve Martin died.
Well, it's Carrie Fisher and her mom. You're like, yeah, I don't think they had a lot of movies left in them.
Carrie Fisher had a contract. She had at least 10 Star Wars movies left in her.
Yeah, she's going to play a rock.
And they just had HBO just did a documentary about Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher. Did HBO kill them for the ratings? It is spooky timing.
Becker, you bring up a really interesting point about what you said about maybe Google's behind it. Google makes money selling ad space and selling users' information obtained through cookies and all the back end stuff, right? Well, when something goes up that's false, especially something that's going to get a million hits instantly, they're making revenue on that.
They're information stockbrokers. If you make money, I make money. If you lose money, I make money.
I just finished an Audible book. I see it's pretty good, called "So You've Been Publicly Shamed" by John Ronson, and it goes in. The last few chapters are about that, where someone.
That's really specific.
What's that?
That John Ronson's the guy who publicly shamed me.
I've been publicly shamed by a lot of people, but not John Ronson.
Well, the last few chapters he's talking about where they break down someone who because there was something went out on social media, one little thing, like she took a picture, and that one thing is the only thing that comes up, and then it was hundreds of thousands of dollars that this guy was able to get a company to help push down the Google ratings with that one picture that she was she was being disrespectful in Arlington Cemetery or something like that. But it was just a 2-second thing that has, just plagued her. And they go in and they delve into, well, if you Googled her name and that picture, it would come up, and then they went backwards and they figured out, because you can't get into the algorithms that Google has, and they're changing all the time, but they figured out conservatively that Google made about $400,000 on just perpetuating that image and it going up there and it's spreading virally.
Wow.
That's insane.
No, that's a rigged deck right there.
Yeah, totally.
They should get fined.
Well, and that'd be another big story.
How much money did Bing make off of it?
I tried a long time ago to really get behind the Bing wave, and I know Bing had travel alerts, and they had Bing Photo was supposed to be really good. It was when my sister-in-law worked at Microsoft, and I really tried to give it a shot. I also gave the Windows Phone a shot. Neither of those are in my my day-to-day usage anymore.
It was the right answer, though. The Windows Phone, a lot of people just chucked them right out of it.
I mean, the problem, Google and Apple are these huge, gross behemoth companies that are basically extorting people for money, but they also make really useful things.
Oh, yeah. There's
a Google Calendar is a super useful thing.
Sure is.
So it's hard to just be nah, I'm not using Google anymore because they have some weird business practices.
No, I'm
What
not.
am I going to do? What am I going to use? Hotmail?
But if it forgets to tell you your anniversary, then should you be allowed to sue and go, I counted on you.
Yes.
I trusted you.
I paid 99 cents for premium.
I've had a Yahoo email account since the early 90s when I first started to get online. And I just noticed today, that's just my default. I have a Gmail account. I have probably a couple other that I've abandoned over the years, but I basically use Gmail, and my main one is Yahoo. Like I said, I've had it for years, and I just saw that Yahoo is being sold to Verizon, and they're changing the name Yahoo to Altaba.
Which
what the what?
Yeah, because you wouldn't want to keep that name.
That recognizable name from the early 90s. You wouldn't want to fucking keep that. What the? I mean, and it's not going to change anything in my life because my email address is still going to be at yahoo.com because there's still people with AOL
they're going to keep
accounts.
that?
Oh yeah. None of that goes away. That all stays in place. There's still
why call it Ultima?
I don't know why. I just thought it was kind of odd because everyone knows what Yahoo is. Altaba.
I think you need to upgrade, Greg. It's getting too old. Pretty soon you're going to be one of those people that are like, yeah, it's Dave at earthlink.com. Like nobody.
There's still Earthlink, dude. There's there's
still Excite
profile.
I have Excite.
See, I think maybe was Alta Vista that might have been the browser.
That was a
search engine, but that might have been Verizon's. And so they're kind of throwing that into the Altaba.
I think it was maybe they got bought by Verizon. I don't really know. I don't think anybody's used Alta Vista since like 1998.
Yeah, but they got tons of letterhead.
Does it exist?
I'm looking right now. It's got to be something. A redirect or something.
It just goes to Yahoo.
Yeah, it just goes right to Yahoo. So yeah, that might have been.
Altaba.
Altaba, yes.
There used to be a shitload. There used to be like Alta Vista and Ask Jeeves and Web Crawler, or maybe it was called Metacrawler.
Yeah, I loved Jeeves when it first came out. I thought that was really cool.
There used to be a ton of them, but now like you Google it. Like if you want to know something, you don't search online, you Google it.
I read they died.
Google died.
R.I.P. Google.
Yeah.
I'm going to tweet it right now. I'm not going to fact check. I'm just going to get on Twitter and share it.
Yeah, pass it on. There's no time.
Yeah.
So Becker, what's it like being back in Costa Rica?
I'll tell you, it was a easy flight. We did the Alaska Airlines this time because they finally started flying down here, and it was a straight shot from Anchorage to LAX, and then about an hour in LAX, had a beer, jumped on a plane, and so in 9.5 hours, I'm sitting in Liberia.
Yeah, I saw with the couple hours after that with the cash in front of you from your wins at the casino.
The casino.
What was your game?
Yeah, killed the casino. Played a little bit of digital roulette.
Uh-huh.
And then we played slots, a weird slot game, but it was a high roller slot. And then just about dogged out on the game for $20, and then boom, 500.
Wow.
And they really didn't want to pay us out. Then we went and played Pai Gow for a little bit. Well, the way they do it there is they come out, and the bartender, we're tipping her because it's not busy at all, and we're tipping her way too much. And she keeps bringing it back to us going, here. And we're like, no, it's for you. Keep it. You're good. And then we went over to play Pai Gow, and then I went, hey, where's my roulette money? Well, she sticks a card in to clear the game to get it on a card, and then she takes it to the cage, and they get your money.
Yeah.
Well, she cleared it, and she never quite went to the cage. So then I went, all right, now it's a little shady. So I said, let's do it. And the lady running it was apparently from like Norway or something, just got the gig, apparently. The only white girl in the cage. And she goes, because I know how much it's worth. And she's like, well, here. And she's trying to short me. And I go, no. And she goes, well, there's an exchange for Colone versus. I go, well, no, you made me get Colone to play.
Yeah.
So why would I possibly go, then give me dollars back? I'm good with it if you're giving me Colognes at a lesser rate. And then she goes, well, the bank, they take a percentage. I go, no, they don't. The local supermarket rips me off, but you don't. You're a casino. I gave you this. You give me this. And I made her give it to me, and she finally just did it, but it was crazy. So, but they didn't have enough money to pay us out is what I think it was, because they were running around fucking talking to the other people at the tables and taking money from them.
All the dealers were emptying their pockits. Like, I got
no, they were. No, I'm not
bucks.
kidding. They were. And, you know, but I had no sympathy for them. Like, oh, like they almost seem like nobody ever wins.
So does it ever seem a little sketchy, like when you win like that and then getting out to the parking lot?
We had the Costa Rican Uber driver, as I call it, the one they set us up with from the hotel, from the Hilton. And he came back right as we're trying to cash out. And he's like, you ready to go? And then he knows the casino, and then that kind of cooled things down a little bit. Then we get in with him, and he drives us, and Romy and I, that's Becky's dad, we're on the cab heading back, and he does a U-turn right after the bridge where we're heading back to the hotel, and he stops and goes, did you want to go on a tour of Liberia? And we're like, no, we've been flying all day, been down here 17 years, we're good. And he goes, oh, and he backs out, he pulls in. So finally gets this hotel. And it was $20 each way is what they charged. So I was like, all right. So I go to give him $30 in Kelowna. He goes, no. He keeps giving it back. And I go, did you charge the room? I mean, I don't know why you keep giving it back. And then he goes, no, $20 cash. So you don't want $30 in Kelowna. You want $20. This is like reverse casino right now.
Yeah.
All right. So I give him $20. We go in the gift shop because they sell beers in the gift shop. Well, they're not cheap. You can't drink them while the guy's not watching. And so we're in there buying beers, and then the guy comes in and goes, oh, you owe me $5 more. I go, how would I owe you $5 more? I tried to give you 30, and you couldn't take it. So then I go to the front desk with him, and I go, oh, yeah, explain to him. I tried to give him $30 in Kelowna, and then the front desk girl wanted nothing to do with it. But at the same time, I go, you're the one who called him for me, so you can deal with this.
Yeah.
And so we went round and round, and then he goes, no problems, because he's going to get banned from the hotel, right? But at the same time, then she's going, well, maybe he doesn't understand the currency. I go, yeah, because a cab driver in Costa Rica wouldn't know what the Costa Rica dollars were.
the local
Anchorage.
money.
Is money a new concept there? Like, what is happening?
Oh no, John. Here's the problem. The dollar is worth in the world. You know that is the highest thing in the world, and
there's more value in the American dollar. It's more stable.
They've got it at about 30 cents over. So it's like the Canadian dollar versus thing, where it's 30. So I get $1.30 for every dollar. Yeah. So when I was busy gambling casino, I wasn't playing $20. I was playing like 18 something or less. But anyway, but they want dollars. But meanwhile, we go to a place to buy chairs, and they won't take $100 bills this year. Like, no, $100 bills, no. And this is a place where you'd spend hundreds of dollars. They got every chair is $60 a piece.
Yeah.
So I go, really? Okay, well, I'll give you 20. So I gave him 20. Then we go to the supermarket. We bought like $60 worth of stuff. And I whip out the 100. No problem. Explain to me how that works.
Is there a rash of counterfeiting going on?
Well, they're claiming there is, but I go, well, you know what? If you're not going to take hundreds, it's going to be a very slow tourist season.
I always just travel with gold nuggets, and then I weigh them out.
Yeah.
Oh, your gold dust from your robbery?
Yeah.
I recognize you.
I've been panning. I go up to the mountains and I pan for gold, and that's my vacation money. I whip out my scale, and
you are an Alaskan.
Everywhere.
I do remember when I was down there the first time. Man, that must have been 2003 or 4. And we went into San Jose, which was the only time we went into San Jose. And I remember we had to have an escort. Our That sounds weird. We had to have a taxi driver.
That's why I go there.
We had to have a taxi driver anytime we went anywhere, and we would pay the taxi driver to not only drive us, and he had to be arranged through the hotel, but he then would wait for us until we were ready to go somewhere else or go back to the hotel. But that when you basically got a driver secured through the hotel, you stuck with that driver the whole night. Which,
yeah, he just waited for you.
Yeah. And then that was like, I don't want that to be part of my planning for a night out, especially if I'm going to have some cocktails. Let's go to a safer city. That's when we went down to Tamarindo.
Because after a couple cocktails, you're like, let's lose this guy.
Yeah. Who's this guy?
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is we haven't been to San Jose in forever, and everybody always goes, "Do you want to go to San Jose?" I'm like, no, I have no interest in going to it. There's no good story that comes out of it.
Well, they basically roll down the riot doors over the shops and stuff at night, and I mean it's probably great in some areas, but I agree with you. It was never seemed to be the reason why I went to that country in the first place, was to go to the capital. I did see that.
No. Yeah.
I did see that you got a little something going on this weekend. Saturday, Guns N' Roses will be playing at the National Stadium.
That's the one the Chinese built for $1 billion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I assume it's a soccer stadium?
It is a soccer stadium and a Guns N' Roses stadium.
I went online just to see what ticket prices were. Two things. One, my Spanish isn't as good as I thought it was. And two, it doesn't look like their search engine isn't picking up Guns N' Roses or GNR or Guns N' Roses. So I don't have any idea how much it costs to go see Axl and Duff and Slash.
I think it was like $67.
Are they still all? Haven't they replaced some people, or is it still like?
I don't think you get Slash.
Slash is there. Duff McKagan is there.
Oh, he is.
And Axl Rose. Axl had Chinese Democracy for, I think, over 10 years. And they had a rhythm guitarist, and they snagged him. So he's in there. And he's a American dude who's just a fucking hired gun. Looks a little like Izzy Stradlin. And they also grabbed the drummer because Matt Sorum from the Cult and then from Guns N' Roses was not going back. No way. He said no way. And then they also hired some hot blonde, looks almost like an anime chick playing keyboards. So yeah,
that's Mike, Loverboy.
And then there's another guitarist too, I think, other than Slash. I think there might be a third guy, but I don't know. But they got three of the guys.
Okay,
that's worth
pretty
it.
Good.
Yeah, I remember seeing on YouTube before Guns N' Roses actually did this reunion tour. You'd see Slash playing every once in a while. He'd do sit in, and you'd see it on YouTube or something. And I remember seeing this one where this guy was playing "Sweet Child of Mine." I'm like, going, Jesus, look at this guy, man. That is the worst cover band of Guns N' Roses. It turns out it was actually Slash. He just put on a little weight, and maybe he was working out some of the runs. His noodling, it wasn't as good as it was. It was a bad night or whatever, but I was like, look at this guy. This guy thinks he's Slash. And then, at the end, you find out it really is him.
This fucking guy think he is. Was he wearing the top hat?
Oh, everything, dude. But it looked like a dude who was like definitely overweight said, look, we're keeping him in the band because he can play the Sweet Child of Mine, okay? So he might not look so good, but we got the hair over his eyes. Yeah, he's got to wear the sleeveless shirt, though. That's the problem.
The people in the back won't know it's not him.
Yeah.
It's such a hot culture for all that hair. I just don't know how he does it.
Yeah, leather and all that hair, it's too much. It's too much.
80 degrees? Come on. You're going to die.
80 degrees. I heard that, I saw in the ADN, my little bit of show prep today, that Alaska is the warmest it's been in ever since they started keeping record. The last 3 years have been the warmest.
Doesn't feel like it, Greg. Doesn't feel like.
That's what's so funny is you guys wake up in the morning and you chip out your home delivered paper from a block of ice, and the headline is Alaska warmest long term average in since records began in 1925, and you're like, what the fuck? But the warmest average for the entire year is just below freezing at 31.9 degrees Fahrenheit.
I feel for the polar bears. Like, I really feel for them, Greg. But I also, like, can't feel my toes 90% of the day. So I fucking, it's miserable.
Yeah.
No, everyone told me it's been miserable. And the thing is, they're doing an average temperature based on all this fucking crap. And my problem is back to 1926. In the 1800s, it could have been exactly like this. And then it got cold again. So, we're not ruining the planet. We're just standing on it.
That's, I don't know why. But we're having some sort of impact, in whether it was like this in the 1800s or not. Like, shit's still going to get fucked up. There's still going to be flooding. I mean, Florida wasn't flooded.
It'll go through another cycle. And
Florida wasn't flooded in the 1800s.
Like when cable goes out. What did we used to do before cable? I don't know. We don't have records.
The one thing that I always thought was crazy was, when I lived up there, my first trip to Alaska from Southern California, I had like a 3/4 length Eddie Bauer down jacket. I had Sorel boots. The whole fucking thing, right? And just going anywhere, it's fucking cold, but you dress for the cold. But then you read about these dudes who they were explorers, or they were the Shackleton's crew, where they had like one fucking wool coat, and they were in Antarctica for like almost 2 years. How the fuck? I can't get out and get to Fred Meyer fast enough across the parking lot, scuffling my feet so I don't fall in my $200 boots.
Well, they left with the wool coat. They came back with like half a foot and like fucking one of their sailing buddies like in their belly because they had to eat him because he froze to death.
No one died on the Shackleton expedition, and
they told you about.
Well, the dogs all died, that's for sure, and plenty of seals along the way. Yeah, I don't know. You see these guys recreating the expedition and then the rescue, the route. They try to dead reckon it, and it is I think that was on PBS, Chasing Shackleton, and they're in a boat and they've got some support and all that stuff, but motherfucker, those guys, they set it up. I think it's a 3-part series. They're wearing the fucking same clothes that those guys wore. Yeah. Well, it's just fucking insane.
There's Joe Rogan always has that Wim Hof dude on his podcast. I think he's on the Joe Rogan podcast, who hiked up McKinley? Was it Denali or Everest? I think he hiked up Everest, only wearing like shorts and tennis shoes, like no jacket, no shirt, nothing. And he hiked up past like the what they call the dead zone.
That's the one where the air's really thin. You can only be up there for like 30 minutes or something. Yeah, or where everyone drops dead.
Yeah, look up Wim Hof. That dude's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd just like to be fucking heading back down because you can't take it and see a guy in the fucking half shirt running by you.
Drinking a latte as he's going up.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Going, oh my God, the daiquiris are great.
Well, Becker, I did see that. I'm looking at Tico Times, the online newspaper for I think it's all of Costa Rica, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had your volcano prediction. It just won't go away.
I'm telling you, it's going off like a motherfucker.
Volcano.
It's almost like there are always volcanoes erupting.
Not in the historical dimensions like they are now, John.
I mean, do you have records from the 1800s?
Yes. Do you know when Pompeii was?
But you're
I'm going to say the 1100s. I don't know. I'm not really sure how time works past a certain point.
Yeah, they keep them in these things on shelves. They're called books.
I don't trust books. You know, fake news originated in books, not the internet.
That's true. The winners make up the history.
But I did just watch a great video about how our actual date should be 2017 instead of just 2017, because that's when humans first started building structures over 12,000 years ago.
Okay.
So it makes more. So this video claims that it makes more sense to have our date start then, rather than the random time they just had our date start.
Well, it wasn't random. It was
the Gregorian calendar. It's pretty random.
Well, it all is a concept of humans. It's not. It wasn't handed down, but isn't the 2017 based on the AD?
Yes.
I think we're venturing into territory that where Becker should start making stuff up.
Yeah, because this is. Listen, guys, I watched a YouTube video. I'm not qualified to really discuss it.
Yeah, well, did they mention Christ at all?
No, this is about science. Not your.
You know, they
not
were
your
homeless when they had their baby,
not
but
your
later they
biblical
built a house. Yeah. No, that's the calendar thing has always been hysterical because I go like the Mayans predict the end of the world. They couldn't predict the end of the Mayans. How the fuck are you going to predict the end of the world?
The original goal of the Gregorian calendar was to change the date of Easter. In 1582, when Pope Gregory XIII introduced his Gregorian calendar, Europe adhered to the Julian calendar, first implemented by Julius Caesar in 46 BC. So it was Caesar and then the Pope, and they just randomly made up stuff.
Yeah, who was in charge?
Now, John, you're happy with the Apple calendar. I get it.
No, he's a Google calendar. He's a Google man.
I bought it, and Google knows where I'm going to be at all times.
You know, at one point, it's going to be the ultimate 17.
Yeah. I don't know, but when you get a chance, like watch the video I just shared in our little chat window, because it's interesting.
Yeah, it seems.
Also, I think you're supposed to be real high when you watch these videos too.
That would help. I think that.
Did you get more weed, John?
I've been smoking. Like I take like one hit a day because I haven't been drinking, so I'll like take one hit at the end of the day. That's good. It doesn't make me feel that weird, so I could probably just be holding my breath for like a minute and a half to get the same effect.
Get up really fast out of a chair.
Yeah.
How's the weight program going?
It's going well. I've lost like 9 pounds in 2 weeks.
All right.
I've been going to the gym. I worked out with my girlfriend's brother, who is a former bodybuilder, and I can't use my arms.
That's going to help your self-esteem.
Yeah. No, it was a good workout, but now I'm less prepared to defend myself than I was before this workout. Like I had to use my nose to log into Skype to talk to you guys. Like my arms are useless.
Your arms ache from trying to keep up with the brother-in-law.
Yeah, I'm dying. Like I can't. Like I couldn't. Like this was on Sunday, and this like on Sunday night, I had to get out of bed in the middle of the night to like ice my arms because I like couldn't. I couldn't like sleep because if I straighten my arms, they hurt, and if I keep them bent too long, they hurt. Guys, working out, it's great. It's good for you.
Yeah, that's when you know it's working, John. When you can't move or you have to call in sick to work.
That means your muscles
way to go.
are rebuilt. I can't come to work because my muscles are getting too jacked.
I think that's how you end up losing weight, John. You can't get it to your mouth.
That's true.
You can't pick up a fork.
I have to eat through a straw.
You could have gotten in a car accident. Done this.
Fitness. So yeah, my 2017 resolutions are all happening.
I had quite a discovery yesterday. It's taking Tracy to the dentist out in a little town called Elfrida, about 25 miles from Bisbee.
Across the border, right?
No. This is stateside here. It's just out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And we were driving. I've taken the trip a few times because that's where I started getting my the implant in my dental implant. They started the process out there, and then I decided I would go to a newer facility. But out there, I mean, you're just going to get a cleaning, right? And I'm sitting there waiting for Tracy to come back out. And the receptionist comes out and goes, and it was really weird because she didn't look at me. She looked like past me and said, can you follow us outside for a fire drill? And I thought, what? I didn't hear, there's no alarm, and there certainly is no fire. This is just a drill. Can they do that before work? Because what's the chances that I'm going to be there again when there's a fire? I mean, I'm trained. They think everyone's trained, but it's a whole new crew of people every 30 minutes coming in there. So
maybe they do a fire drill with everybody who comes in.
I don't know. So I go outside and I just walk straight to the fucking car and I just go, fuck this. I'm going to sit in the car. But then I see out there's a field next to, I guess, the side of the building where they let out all of the people that were in the chairs for their procedures. They're also now out in a field going to the designated meetup area for a fire drill. And I'm like, is this how you just fuck with people? What's going on?
One guy's just all groggy, just walking around the field.
We do roll call, but Emily forgot the appointment book.
So I'm in the car, and I look, and they're getting the all clear or whatever. I mean, they certainly didn't count how many people went in and out because they didn't give a fuck about me, right? So this was just, they're just going through the paces, and I see Tracy's texting me, hey, we're heading back in. And I go, I'm not going to go back in. But I get out of the car and I see above me, there's like a huge V, a formation of, birds. And I found out they're sandhill cranes out here. And there's a wintering spot. And it's 2:00 in the afternoon. They're coming back from foraging all day. And then they go into this huge field that is basically a wildlife preserve for wintering birds. And there's about 10,000 of them out there. And as soon as she was done, I bitched about the fucking fire drill all the way to it's a 1,400 acre spot. And as we're sitting there, all these birds are landing, coming in. There's like 10,000 of them. It's fucking amazing. And that's a known, that's their wintering ground here in just outside of Bisbee. Had no idea.
So not
sure
only
wasn't just a fire drill.
Maybe birds also had a fire drill and had to meet in their designated spot.
It could be. But Becker, when you come out, man, we got to go out there because it's pretty fucking kick-ass.
Yep. Absolutely. But I will tell you this, we won't be going to the dentist.
No.
You know why?
Why?
Because Becky got a dentist down here that is doing teeth whitening, new crown, new front tooth where she has a fake tooth.
Yeah.
They're remaking that.
Oh, great.
And all of it, $1,200.
Wow.
Nice.
You know how much they quoted us for the crown only in Anchorage? $1,800.
I was going to say it's upwards because my implant, I was just talking to someone out here. They were asking about it. Because, I mean, we're so close. We're 7 miles from the border here in Bisbee. People come here that they've stayed here at Doug's house while they were getting procedures done. They would go over the border for the day, shake off the anesthesia, come back, and then a couple days later go back again to get more done. And I chose not to go to Mexico to get it done, and it was $3,000 for one tooth. Over that, so
yeah.
I mean,
no,
yeah.
I'll come to Costa Rica. No.
Yeah.
Costa Rica.
Let's say the vacation dental plan.
What's it like?
It is.
What's it like going across the border from Bisbee? Is it just like easy, just a quick drive? Like there's not a long line like when you leave California?
No.
Yep.
There's the border crossing for us is at Naco, and there's the easiest thing to do is there's a main street that used to be busy and lined with businesses. Now there's just a bar called the Gay 90s and like an auto shop. So that street is really wide, and you just park your car there and you walk across the border. So you don't have to even take your car into Naco because we're not going any further than 3 blocks in. So you cross the border and they don't give a shit. And then there's a really good taco restaurant over there, and there's a couple of thrift stores and the pharmacias where you can get some over the counters.
Right.
Yeah, and everything's over the counter there. So, Yeah, it's actually really. We go sometimes just to have lunch.
I want to go when we go.
Yeah. I mean, you'll have your passport, so we might as well.
I want to stop at the gay 90s and tell them, technically it's the gay 1190s.
Becker, I think we talked about this before. Your Tico Times, your lovely Tico Times, Costa Rica publication. They have
yes.
Their mascot is the Sloth Kong. Are you aware of this?
Wait,
yeah.
The newspaper has a mascot?
The newspaper has a mascot, and it's this like droopy-eyed sloth called Sloth Kong.
Which really makes it look like a crappy paper, doesn't it?
I mean, I like the idea.
Why couldn't you use a jaguar?
Yeah, I was going to say something a little bit more, or an elephant never forgets. Something.
I think they have a pretty usable website. They're pretty good.
I know.
They're one of those ones where you read half the article, then you click and goes, "Would you like to subscribe?"
Oh yeah.
Did you guys see ADN is going to start charging again for
what?
For online news to read news online?
Oh yeah, no. Guess what? No.
Well, I'd say go to Yahoo
it's so
News.
Informative.
I'd say go to Yahoo News, but that's not going to be possible either.
Well, no, but the thing is with the whole charge me for news, it's fine as long as you don't show me fucking ads.
That's true.
I mean,
too.
the whole way a newspaper works, they sell you ads. When you go online, they go, "Oh, we're selling you ads there too." I go, "Well, then you're getting money twice."
That's
Fuck
double
you.
dipping.
Very hard to have a parent shit on your computer.
Well, I think everyone's kind of go that way, John. You're a touchstone to media, to actual professional media, real jobs. What's
I know
your weather
people
report?
who work at the Dispatch. In my work, we have a news department, but our news is public media, so it's funded by people support if they can afford to. They don't have to pay to enjoy our great product. But I don't know. I don't know why they can't charge more for advertising on a website that is like our only big newspaper.
But they also, give me the ads. That's fine. And then also, all you're giving me is just murders every day. So I can just go on Twitter with the police department.
Is the police department on Twitter? Yeah,
that's how they release all the breaking news.
Yeah, they clamp down your
no wonder you don't
radio
have more fans.
The APD should be charging people. If you want to know about Anchorage's murders first, $5 a month.
Dude,
so I just solved our police budget problem.
Yeah, you guys got some fucking crazy shit going on up there. Those kids. Now there's those kids that killed that kid and burned his car.
South.
Was that?
Well, of course, the kid that just shot up Florida was from Anchorage.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking insane.
But that's my joke. I pulled up KTU and I pulled up ADN. Every story is about that kid. They have his ex-girlfriend thought on what might been going through his head. Mm-hmm. I go, really? That's all the news you have is what happened in Florida?
I like that there's a huge fight. People are getting mad about them saying he's an Alaskan. They're like, he's only been here for 4 years. I don't know if that counts as Alaskan. But then when they sign up for their PFDs, I've been here 9 months. I'm Alaskan.
That's funny.
Good point.
But I did. You were talking about the Palmer kid who was murdered, and they had a story today about child pornography charges and stuff.
There's other things that are thrown into on one of the kids.
One of the dudes was Snapchatting his dick to a 15-year-old or something.
I don't know, but it is one of those things where it's like they're just starting to pile on now, and it's like, Jesus Christ, these kids are running fucking wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The parents are like, we didn't know any of this is going on. We were watching Netflix.
They should have been reading the paper.
Yeah. Well, provided they pay for it.
Yeah, they'd have to pay for it.
$10 a month.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was a couple days ago we were with Doug in Tucson at the Arizona Inn, and they have the it's a really nice place, and he was going to write, and it ended up we just drank. And they had the New York Times in the lobby. Not just USA Today. I don't even think they had the USA Today. They had the Arizona paper, and they had the New York Times. And now that's a fucking paper.
Yeah. That's still fantastic.
Yeah.
What is that? $100 a year?
I don't know, but it's like that one is substantial. I mean, I don't think they get it out here same day. Maybe, I don't know where you'd even go in Bisbee to get the New York Times. Maybe off that wood dowel at the library.
Usually Safeway sells like New York Times and stuff, don't they?
Yeah, but they're 3 months old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just news. It doesn't change.
It's to wrap fish that they don't sell.
Yeah, $10 is steep. I don't know. I'm probably gonna end up.
Netflix is cheaper than that.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know. I think $5. They should have aimed lower. Like, I feel like you'd get more people who are willing to just like have $5 auto pay every month. But $10 is.
How about you just do it on the honor system?
$10 is like, that's easy math to do. That's $120 a year. Is it worth it to me to read news, to read stuff that makes me feel bad?
To find out why all those sirens are going by my house? No.
So, Becker, you wanted the honor system? So it's like those people who leave out dozens of eggs and you're supposed to just throw money in the honor jar?
Yeah, you got to lie. Yeah, like you're doing well off. You give ADN a bunch of money and I'll just, like the oil companies do.
Yeah.
That's called public media. That's right. That's how the public media system works.
I don't care. I've tried to get everybody I know that own coffee shops to run a fucking ad on the radio and go, just so you know, for the price you'd spend on public media, the most boring news there is, you can get a latte.
That's genius.
Yeah, nobody's done it. I go, come on, do it. They can't sue you. They don't have lawyers. They're Jews, but they're not good Jews.
We've got lawyers. I mean, they work pro bono, so nothing's going to get done. But we got lawyers.
You're too busy springing murder victims.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for that sound breaking to come back on PBS. I just can't find it.
I'll see if we have a copy floating around.
Are you going to pull some strings there, John? That'd be great.
I'll see what I can do. I can't do anything unless there is actually.
So I'm standing there at my desk. You still got the stand-up desk, John?
Me?
Yeah.
I've never had a stand-up desk.
Oh, I thought you took a bunch of books and piled them up and took an old piece of plywood.
Oh, maybe I did do that once.
I think you were propping up your monitor.
Yeah, no, I think I prop up my monitor, but standing, like, what?
You know what? That was last year. That was your New Year's resolution, not to sit so much.
No, I don't think that's true. I think my New Year's resolution was to sit more.
Sit more? Okay. Well,
really relax?
I have a lay-down desk. I have a desk where I just lay on the ground. I don't want to stand up. I think standing is what's killing people. That's what I think.
Really?
They're all messed up. I think the whole standing thing, that's some sort of scam from chiropractors that want you to put pressure on your spine. I feel great. I sit all the time. My back has never been better.
John, I think you're the Costa Rica sloth Kong.
Have you ever heard the term, John, died on the table?
It
was like, I'm going to die standing up. Got your boots on? Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Oh, the sloth Kong. Yeah, I'm very sloth-like.
Oh, so we're going to do gyrocopters. We're going on gyrocopters. We're going down to some Samara, or whatever the fuck they call it. Samara. Yeah. Then we're going to go fly on the gyrocopters, and then we're going to the steakhouse.
Is that the gyrocopter? Is that the solo one where you go up by yourself and it just kind of zoop?
Yeah. Yep. It's just a fucking fan blade and God.
Ay. But you've already done it. Why are you doing it again?
Oh, I just want to go make sure it still works.
You're the safety check?
That's it.
Have you considered a squirrel suit?
No, John, I really did. I looked it up, and because I went, how do you even practice that? You know, it's like, what do you jump off your roof a couple times?
I feel like it's literally
do or die. Valley.
I think you just do or die of it.
But they're only like $1,300. No,
but they got a parachute on. They don't like fucking pull up right before they get to the ground and then like run it off. They eventually parachute. No, man. They've got a parachute. You can't, they get down to a certain level, and then they'll, especially when they're like skimming those. That's how those guys die, is they get too close to the cliffs. But then they get down to they're on a mountainside, and they go over the cliff, and then now they're thousands of feet still above the ground, and eventually they're going to have to pull that pack.
I never heard of that. I don't know if you're right on that.
I think that's that's for amateurs, Ggreg.
Okay, those are the people.
Those professionals just fly home and then they land on their doorstep.
they just kind of like pull up and they kind of run it to a stop. Hey, I'm home.
Here,
they grab
Becker,
trees, slow down.
I found a flying squirrel suit for you, $57.
Yeah, I'd put my life in those hands.
$57.
It just doesn't. That's not even right. That price is so low. It's not even right.
No, I think this looks pretty legit, guys.
Is it for small children?
It's for a squirrel. That's what it is. It's an actual suit for a squirrel, Becker. $57. It's gold lame. It's
That's and that's all that stuff. The fan thing where you put a big fan on your back and you fly with a parachute. That guy told me they were doing it out at Alaska, and he goes, "Yeah, I'll get you one. It's like $1,600. You can get the whole thing." I'm like, "But when do you learn that you suck at it?" It's like
there's a high learning curve. One try. We were
like David Blaine with the bullet catching.
Oh my God! Did you see that, John? You know what he was talking about?
No.
Becker, I just saw it last night, and I mean, do we still think there's magic? I mean, come on. It's sleight of hand. They're tricks.
Right.
The David Blaine getting shot thing?
Yeah. And then the fake argument at the end with his prop guy going, look, I'm not doing this again. And David Blaine's like, no, it's all right. It's all right. It's like, look, I'll walk. And it's like, I'm walking. I'm leaving. And it's like, of course, then fucking leave, dude. You just helped him shoot a bullet in his face. And now you're like calmly saying like, I'm not going to be a part of this anymore. You've already been a part of it. And you know it's fake.
Yeah. And they want us to believe
this
it.
This is the last time.
Thing. Yeah. It was ridiculous. I was just like, come on.
I love that.
I didn't watch. I just saw the headline because I find David Blaine off-putting because he's just like, he's just so monotone and like he's sleepwalking.
He's NPR.
I don't know.
He's what?
I think
he's NPR.
He's NPR.
No, he might be the NPR of magic, but he's much sleepier than NPR. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're having him. He's got these like it looks like a mouth guard. So there's like something on his top teeth, like top row of teeth and the bottom row of teeth. And then there's like this
in case he gets shot in the mouth.
Well, that's where they're aiming. But then they clamp down on a cup, some kind of a cup that is going to stop the bullet, right? And I'm guessing this is, I don't know firearms, but I'm guessing this is like a 22. But there's a laser sight on there, and he's moving, and someone is going left, up, stop. No, left, right. So he's eyeballing this thing, and he's also the one, I mean, because just the tiniest amount of movement on his part that would change drastically where that bullet hits on his face. And yet he's the one who's going to pull a string to fire the weapon, which would pull his,
this wouldn't work.
The way the body works.
This wouldn't work to pull a tooth. let alone shoot a gun at yourself.
How long is the video? Should I?
Oh, you can see it in like 4 minutes, but it's like so crazy because it's like, what fucking, they got a dentist in there to shape the fucking mouth guard and to do this.
An emergency dentist.
What kind of
but are we that?
In the video, video begins with them shooting a champagne bottle, so you know it's real, Greg.
Yeah, so you know it's real. Yeah.
But are we that dumb that we think like a bullet, the impact, even if you put a cup in your mouth, it doesn't matter. It's still going to take it. Your teeth would all break off.
The shock just in and of itself. And then why can't that closed little cup actually have a small charge in it so that when the synchronized firing of the gun fires out, like busts that thing in his mouth and pops something out, that's all it is. I mean, I don't know, Becker. You're the one who. I'm watching this thing, wishing you were over my shoulder, telling me what the fuck was going on. But it's a trick.
I said the same thing. I was just going, you got to be kidding me, right? Because it's like, is it real? They go, is it real? Yeah, if you believe it.
I'm watching it on silent right now, and I like to believe it's real. I think he trained his teeth to be stronger, and he actually shot a bullet into his mouth.
He worked up from saltwater taffy to like peanut brittle, and then he would actually bite Jolly Ranchers when they were still really big.
He's a mad.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's reselling old tricks to you and going, yeah, it's amazing. And I go, yeah, I get it. I liked it better when he just hung in a box in the park and people threw eggs at him. That was funny.
And people we wouldn't have to look at him for a couple hours.
I miss the old days when he would just like do card tricks for basketball teams and like put somebody's card inside of a basketball or a football and everybody lost their mind. Because like the best part is seeing people go crazy. Like the trick, I'm just like, all right, whatever. But then you see people like grabbing their head and like running around the building. Like that's the good stuff. Seeing David Blaine get like a fucking, apparently the injury is a small laceration in his mouth. Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you look at the whole special, would you rather see Don Shula shit himself because the Queen of Diamonds was in his ear? Or would you rather see him catch the bullet?
I'd much rather see somebody shit themselves because they can't understand how the card got in their back pocket.
Yeah. It's like, get a mouthpiece. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I feel like they're writing the like news headlines before they actually like plan the magic tricks. Yeah. He's like, all right, what's a good headline? David Blaine suffers injury after shooting himself. That's a good one.
Rip David Blaine.
Too bad David Blaine's dead. Too bad he's gone.
Did you hear?
Hang on 1 second. Special guest. You might know him as Mark from Rat Ranch. In the early days of Chilkoot Charlie's.
Hello. Who are we talking to?
Hey, Mark, it's Chaille. I'm in Bisbee, and John Norris is in Anchorage.
What's going on, man?
Did you just get down there? Or have you been there for a while?
No, I just got down here. Day before yesterday.
Yeah. How many people from Anchorage are showing up this year?
Almost none.
It's a Trump America.
I mean, why would...
We're going gyrocoptering.
Yeah.
You guys are going today?
Mark, are you more excited about gyrocoptering or the steakhouse?
Steakhouse.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Samara has the best steak I've almost ever had in my life.
He lives in Texas. That's a big deal.
That's a big thing, yeah.
They actually have fresh food there.
They do.
Are you gyrocoptering to the steakhouse? do they have a landing pad?
We should test that. Maybe we could throw them a few extra bucks and make that happen. That sounds like fun.
If your internet and phone only work, you could call ahead, but now you just have to glide in. Well, let's wrap up so you guys can get on that gyrocopter and do your rounds.
Goddamn right.
Take off.
Nice to talk to you, Mark. Have fun.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon, one way or the other. Take care, bro.
Right on.
This has been another special guest on Near the Wild.
Is that I like that? That's Mark's like intro and exit music.
17 lessons.
Whenever you hear those soft tones, Mark shows up.
All right, thanks.
Did it come with lessons, or are you just doing the old jazz improv?
I write a lot of this, but yeah, some of it I just wing it. What I like to do is I do a speedball and then I just sit up all night by the fire, work out the details. You know what I mean?
The Charlie Parker of beach whistles.
It is really annoying. I can't wait for the flight home.
I can't wait for Clint Eastwood to make a movie about you and your beach whistle.
Never thought about that. I could work out Western noises.
Yeah. Sergio Leone's got nothing on you.
Nope.
I think Matt either showed up or there's going to be a gunfight. I'm not sure what's going on.
Someone's painting the whole house red. What's going on?
There's some dopey guy catching bullets around the corner. I bought that thing for $5 on the beach.
No.
You know what's funny? The guy was like jamming me up, going, "Oh, you want to buy this? We'll buy it." I'm like, leave me alone. Just enough already. Fucking leave me alone. I go, I hate birds. I can't stand. I whistles. My parents were raped by whistles. Leave me alone. And the guy won't let up. I go, all right, $5. I give him $5. So he's got the little ones. So I grab the big one. Go, all right, perfect. I stick it in my backpack and zip it up. He goes, do you want this one? How about this one? I go, no, the big one, the $20 whistle. Thank you.
You really got to be more specific when you make that initial offering.
Yeah, he said, yeah, the bird. I go, yeah, the bird. Throw it in my bag, zip. He's like, no, not that one. That's a fucking expensive one. It's got weed in it, goddammit.
the Costa Rican theremin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly. But yeah, they're just constantly. They're slowly edging into Mexico, where they're running around. Like, if some guy tries to sell me gold chains, I'll start punching him in the face.
Oh man. Yeah,
but no, they're doing good, but it's not perfect by any means. All right, we pulled it off this week. The Devil's Scalene is alive and well. This is Matt Becker.
Thank God for the internet.
Costa Rica.
Hold on, Becker. You got to do it again. John, what? Let Becker do his thing.
All right, I'm hanging out, standing by.
This has been another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Matt Becker in Costa Rica.
I'm John Norris in Anchorage, Alaska.
And I'm Ggreg Chaille in Bisbee, Arizona. And we put the B in ABC.
I don't know if that should be your catchphrase.
Oh, man.
It's good.
That'll have to do for now. You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Ggreg Chaille. Hey, let's get a clean whistle there, so to speak.
Okay.